If you want your brand to have more AI visibility, check this out. Ahrefs recently did a study and found YouTube mentions show the strongest correlation with AI visibility. So if you want your brand to be recommended by AI, your brand should be visible on YouTube. But creating YouTube content is much more complex than creating written content. So a simple solution is to partner with influencers to create YouTube content for your brand. But most people don't know how to run efficient YouTube sponsorship campaigns. So in this video, I'll share the top mistakes I see brands make when doing YouTube sponsorships and 3 key sponsorship structures that work really well for brands like Instantly, Gling, and Wix. And at the end, I'll even give you a bonus tip on how you can work with influencers for free to create YouTube content for you. But first, there are 2 mistakes I see most brands make when it comes to YouTube sponsorships. The first one is that they just sponsor YouTubers to create product review videos. And while that may sound like a very good idea, the problem is that these product review videos only get the direct attention of that YouTuber's immediate audience. And this is because if somebody sees a product review video for a product that they've never heard of, they're probably not going to click on it and watch it. In fact, they're probably not even going to find it. Whereas if you use some of the tactics that I'm about to outline in this video, you're going to see how you can capture new audiences who have never heard of your brand before. Secondly, I see brands sponsoring creators to do generic scripted integrations.
I'm going to go ahead and again go over this image on the screen right here of Julia from the big sheet that we did recently at South Padre Island.
Before I continue, I do want to let you know that this video is sponsored by NordVPN. If you want to browse the internet safely and securely, then NordVPN allows you to do exactly that. Your data is extra protected with their double data encryption for increased anonymity, whether you're simply at home.
And the problem with this is that a lot of people are just going to skip over these ads unless they organically add value to the video. So to help you really maximize the ROI of your YouTube campaign, I'm going to give you a few very simple campaign concepts that I swiped from brands like Lovable and Wix. So the first strategy is to sponsor YouTubers to target keywords or topics that your customers might be searching for. In fact, Sarah Adam of Wix says that this is now a key element of their strategy. So instead of just sponsoring YouTubers to create any kind of video, they specifically sponsor YouTubers to create content targeting relevant keywords. She says, in 2025, with LLMs changing the SEO game, we're working with 50% less YouTubers on highly targeted, dedicated videos based on top keywords, i.e. what our ICP is actually looking for both on YouTube and LLMs. Now, there are kind of 2 main categories of relevant keywords or topics. And first are pain point related topics. So these are topics that your customers are searching that ideally your product also solves. So for example, Wix might target a topic like how to build a website, as that's a core pain point that Wix actually solves. So a great example of this is 11 Labs, which is an AI video generator. So because people are using this tool to generate AI videos, they sponsored this YouTuber to create a video targeting the topic, how to make AI videos. Another example is this video that Semrush sponsored. So here they're targeting that critical keyword AI SEO. And you can see that throughout the video, they just show you how to actually use Semrush to do AI SEO. And if you really want to dominate the results for that topic, you can sponsor multiple YouTubers to target that same pain point keyword. So for example, 11 Labs could sponsor multiple YouTubers to create a single video targeting the topic, how to make AI videos. Another option is to target specific customer segments. So for example, you could target something like how to make AI videos for Facebook ads. You could even move up the funnel and then target a keyword like how to improve the ROI of your Facebook ads. And then one of the tips would be how you can use 11 Labs to generate more UGC creative. I actually really like the approach of targeting specific customer segments because it allows you to deliver a much more specific message that's going to resonate better with that audience. And it's also great customer research because you'll be able to understand how different customer segments perform. The next set of topics you can sponsor YouTubers to target are essentially listicles or product comparison keywords. So an example of a listicle would be something like Best Website Builders of 2026. And then, of course, you can also do some variations on this. So some examples of variations would include best website builders for photographers, best AI website builders, best beginner-friendly website builders. And if you're feeling stuck, you can even ask ChatGPT to give you iterations on these keywords. So to give you an example of this, I saw that Gling, a video editing platform, sponsored Think Media to create a video titled Best Video Editing Software in 2026, Beginner to Pro. And they also sponsored Think Media to create another video targeting the topic 6 AI tools YouTubers actually use. So that's another slightly broader but still very relevant keyword. And the other category of topics are product comparison keywords. So that would be something like Salesforce versus HubSpot. And these are excellent because anyone searching for these topics is already solution aware and likely about to make a purchase. So for example, I saw that Semrush sponsored a video titled Semrush versus SimilarWeb, which is better. Now, Semrush is a pretty well-known brand, so doing a one-on-one comparison like that makes sense for them. But if your brand isn't yet one of the top 2 or 3 industry leaders, I recommend that you actually do a 3-way comparison. So that would be something like Ahrefs versus Semrush versus your new brand. And the reason why this is really effective is because now you can capture the attention of people who don't even know of your brand yet. Because anybody searching for Ahrefs versus Semrush is going to come across your video, and then they'll be introduced to your brand. And if you're wondering why I chose these particular keyword frameworks, it's because there's actually data from Grow and Convert that shows that these keywords are the highest converting keywords, at least for SaaS. So if you really want to maximize conversions, then targeting these keywords is the way to go. Now, I also have a few bonus tips on how you can choose the best creators to sponsor to target these keywords. So first, make sure that they're actually comfortable creating tutorial-style content. There are a lot of sort of entertainment or interest-based creators, and they probably wouldn't be a great fit for creating tutorial content. Instead, Sarah Adam actually shared that she specifically looks for YouTubers who are already ranking for other relevant keywords in her niche. Secondly, make sure that the YouTube channel has sufficient authority to rank for your target keyword. So for example, if you're targeting a keyword like how to build a website, that's pretty competitive. So you want to sponsor an authoritative creator who has the channel power to rank for that. And when I say authority, I really just mean, does this creator on average get about as many views per video as the channels with the current top ranking videos for your target keyword? So if they have a very small niche channel and only a few hundred views per video, then they might not be able to rank for a really competitive keyword like how to build a website, because the channels ranking for that kind of keyword might be getting tens of thousands of views per video. The next way that you can work with YouTubers is to ask them to create case study videos. So basically, this is just a video where the creator actually uses your product to achieve a desired outcome. And Perspective does this really well. So instead of just asking creators to make a video promoting the product, they actually work with them one-on-one to use the product, and then the creator really just has to share their outcome. So for example, this creator made $50,000 using Perspective. So instead of just creating a video titled something generic like Perspective Review, is it worth it? This creator can use that outcome in the video title to make it a lot more compelling. So something like, how I made $50,000 in 48 hours. In fact, this is why Alex actually recommends that you start by working with creators who are already users of your product.
So if we can take someone that has a real use case, that's like, in my previous tool, I got like 5% conversion rates. With Perspective, I have 25%. That's like a crazy video that you have already there, and it's a really good testimonial, it's a really good case study, so I would say that's a really good starting point, just even send an email to your customer base and be like, hey, we're looking for people to talk about their experience with the product, if you have an audience, something like that, if you're interested, just reply, something like that even can go a way longer, it can help you get started for sure.
Of course, this means that you need to actually get on a call and help the creator use the product to achieve a specific outcome. And this is something that Mindingus, the former head of influencer marketing at Lovable, actually did. So before offering creators a sponsorship, he would get on a call with each of them, and then he would ask them to actually use Lovable to solve a real problem.
That I always mention, he has a huge audience. I think 4 million on Instagram, maybe another 5 or 6 on TikTok. But he DM'd our Instagram account and he was like, hey, give a really good pitch. Clearly it had been using the product. I booked him for multiple pieces of content, and all of them did really well. But one in particular, where I really challenged him, I was like, try and build something that you think either you need yourself, you wish existed, try to get to as close to a real product idea as possible. Don't just prototype some bullshit that nobody, that you ask ChatGPT to generate for you because you have to create this piece of content. And one of his videos went so crazy viral that he had to open up a beta. People wanted that product. He had to open up a beta access. 30,000 people joined, requested access. Now he has 80,000 people beta testing it.
I saw that Notion also does something similar by asking creators to use the product to solve a pain point. So for example, this sponsored video is titled, How I Built a Personal CRM Using Notion. And these use case titles are great if you have a product like Lovable or Notion that can be used in a lot of different ways, and one of the customer pain points is really just figuring out how to use the product effectively. I find that this is actually a very common issue with a lot of AI tools that have a lot of different use cases. The next way that you can work with YouTubers is to ask them to create content for your own channel. So you still want to use the two formats that we already discussed, so either targeting relevant keywords or creating this sort of case study tutorial style content, but instead of posting it on their own channel, they're going to post it on your channel. So for example, Wes McDowell is a pretty popular marketing YouTuber, and Semrush partnered with him to create a tutorial on local SEO for the Semrush channel. And the benefit of having popular creators publish on your channel is that you begin to build your own audience. So with a traditional sponsored video published on a creator's channel, you're essentially just borrowing that creator's audience. But when you have that creator make content for your own channel, well, now you own that audience. Now, there is one caveat here. So most people follow YouTube channels that have one specific spokesperson. And if you think about your own social media habits, there are probably a handful of particular people who you follow because you like them and you really trust their advice. So if you're constantly working with new creators to make videos for your channel, then you're really going to struggle to build a sticky audience. So instead, try to do a long-term contract with like 1 or 2 ICP match creators. So for example, Instantly appears to have a long-term contract with Austin Schneider, an agency owner who actually helps agency owners scale. And because agency owners are Instantly's ICP, Austin is really the perfect match. And you can see in the comments that people have built a relationship with Austin and they really trust him. And so in turn, they also really trust Instantly. The content itself is also really ideal for YouTube because Austin's just sharing his real case studies, experiments, and processes, and then demonstrating how he uses Instantly to achieve those outcomes. So for example, look at this video. It's titled, How We Send 2,000 Cold Emails a Day, SMMA Cold Outreach. So the title is essentially the outcome or process that Instantly's ICP wants to accomplish, and that really makes it ideal for attracting the right audience. And the content of the video just shows how Austin actually used Instantly, which kind of makes it a no-brainer to buy the product and just copy his process. Here's another really great example from Austin. So this video is titled, I tried 225 cold email subject lines and these are the best. So if you want to do a long-term YouTube sponsorship contract with like 1 or 2 people to create a series of videos for your YouTube channel, I recommend that you choose an exact ICP match creator who is actually a customer of your product. They don't necessarily have to have a large YouTube channel. In fact, you'll probably find that it's actually a lot more cost-effective if you find just like a genuine expert who doesn't have a very big audience, but you do want to make sure that they're an actual expert in your industry. Now, I've covered the main ways that you can sponsor YouTubers to create content for you, but the reality is that sponsorships can be very expensive. Especially in B2B, legitimate experts are usually already quite wealthy and therefore charge pretty hefty prices for their YouTube content. And also, genuine B2B experts with YouTube experience are pretty few and far between. So a simple solution is to just interview those real experts to learn about their processes, tips, and case studies, and then edit those interviews into YouTube content. And this is actually what I'm doing at Favicon. So first, I use Favicon to search for influencer marketers that already have a presence on LinkedIn. Then I interviewed over a dozen of them and extracted quotes from each of those interviews to turn into YouTube content. So for example, in this video targeting the keyword B2B influencer marketing trends, I interviewed a handful of influencer marketers and then used quotes from those interviews to create the video. So you can see that I have quotes from Nicole of Semrush, Christina of Slate, and a bunch of others. And the benefit of this is that now I have built-in distribution when the video goes live because they pushed it to their LinkedIn audiences. And similarly, with my video on B2B influencer marketing examples, I used both quotes from the influencer marketers that I interviewed, as well as examples from influencer marketers that I found across LinkedIn. And these videos are ranking in both the Google organic search results in the video section for target keywords. And I also found that these interviews are a great way to build genuine industry relationships. In fact, when I emailed the influencer marketer at Lemlist asking for some quotes for upcoming videos, he not only collaborated with us, but also responded that he wanted to try out the product. So you can kind of use these content interviews as a gateway to build relationships with potential customers and really just get more people talking about your product. Now in this video, I gave you just a few different campaign ideas, but one of the biggest questions I'm asked is how to actually determine how much you should pay for a video. And that's why I created this video over here that helps you figure out how much you can afford to pay a creator for a campaign and how to negotiate effectively and fairly.